I remember the day everything changed. The day I started to rise from the ashes of betrayal. My name is Helena Montez, and I am 35 years old, a senior bank executive in the heart of New York City. Most people see me as a polished professional, someone who has it all: power, influence, and a seemingly perfect life. But beneath that facade, I harbored a hidden ambition and a boding desire for revenge. You see, love once made me blind, and it was that very love that led me to the edge of despair. I had a picture-perfect relationship with Daniel, a charming man whose smile could light up any room. We were the envy of our friends and family, and he even proposed to me on a beautiful rooftop under a starlit sky. But all of that shattered when I discovered his infidelity with my best friend. A betrayal that cut deeper than any financial loss I had ever faced. The pain was suffocating, and I felt as if I would never be able to breathe again. In the wake of that betrayal, I vowed to reclaim my power. I turned my heartbreak into motivation, channeling my anger into my work at the bank. I poured myself into my projects, analyzing trends, calculating risks, and making strategic investments. I refused to let anyone see how deeply I was hurting, and I buried myself in the world of finance, determined to rise higher than I ever had before. If you love Helena's journey, like and subscribe to join her next chapter. With every success, I felt a sense of control returning, but nothing could fill the void Daniel had left behind. I would see him at social events, and each time my heart would race with a cocktail of anger and bitterness. There were moments when I thought about confronting him, forcing him to feel the weight of his actions. But I knew that the best revenge was to become the person he never thought I could be. I took a step back, observing him from a distance, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. As I climbed the corporate ladder, I learned about the hidden financial mechanisms of our industry. I discovered the loopholes and secrets that those in power often overlooked. It was exhilarating to know that I was not just a player in the game, but that I could control the board. I became a master strategist, playing my cards close to my chest while letting my colleagues and even Daniel underestimate me. Then one day, I learned that Daniel had launched his own startup, claiming to be the next big thing in tech. My heart raced, not with jealousy, but with the realization that I have a power to turn the tables. I had been saving, investing, and growing my wealth in silence. I decided to secretly invest in his competitor, pouring my resources into a venture that I believed had the potential to overshadow his dreams. I smiled to myself, knowing that while he had betrayed my heart, I could build an empire that would leave him in the dust. As the months passed, I watched his company struggle, while mine thrived in the shadows. There was a thrill in knowing that I was orchestrating a symphony of success from behind the scenes. And with every setback Daniel faced, I felt a sense of justice washing over me. I refused to take pleasure in his pain, but I couldn't deny the satisfaction of knowing I was on the winning side of this game. The day came when I decided to reveal my hand. I organized a lavish event, presenting my company's achievements and innovations. Daniel attended, undoubtedly thinking he could bask in the limelight, not realizing he was walking into a trap of my own making. As I took the stage, I could see him fidgeting, his confidence waning with each passing moment. When I unveiled my latest project, an innovation that would change the landscape of our industry, something he had once laughed off as a pipe dream, his face drained of color. The applause that erupted around me felt like music, a melody of triumph that drowned out the whispers of my past. I caught Daniel's gaze, and at that moment, I could see the regret reflected in his eyes. It was the justice I had longed for, served cold and calculated. I knew he understood what I had done. I had turned his betrayal into a powerful force that not only elevated me, but also ensured he would never look at me the same way again. As the evening drew to a close, I felt an overwhelming sense of freedom. The chains of my past were shattered, and I had built a stronger woman from the rubble. I had taken the pain that once paralyzed me and transformed it into something extraordinary. I realized that true power comes from within, and while love can lead to heartbreak, it can also be the catalyst for incredible change. In that moment, I knew I would never be just a victim of circumstance. I was the architect of my destiny, a woman who had turned her scars into strength. I walked away from that event with my head held high, no longer defined by the betrayal that had once consumed me. The thrill of victory coursed through my veins, and I looked forward to the next chapter of my life, one where I would continue to rise and thrive, not just in business, but as a woman who had reclaimed her narrative. I had won not only the battle against my past, but had emerged victorious in the war of my own making. My life was my own, and I was ready to embrace whatever came next with open arms. Join me on this journey as I navigate the tumultuous waters of ambition, love, and the power of a woman scorned. You will not want to miss what comes next.